marching on.
In a bid to improve eye health and to completely prevent avoidable blindness, HENET, a collection of local health-oriented NGOs, organized a breakfast meeting to deliberate on the way forward. Different organizations were present and presented their strategies. We were there and covered this story for you.
HENET organized a breakfast meeting last week on Thursday, which brought together CEOs from the health sector NGOs in order to find solution to eye health.
What I shared was information about eye health. What are the gaps, what are the priorities, where we need to go, how we can make big jumps when we coordinate what NGOs have and what we have, and so forth, so that we'll be able to achieve Vision 2020 and Vision 2030, where no one is needless blind, where we'll be able to eliminate trachoma, where everyone will live with much less disability.
Some of the leading causes of blindness, which account for more than 80% of preventable blindness, are trachoma, cataract, and glaucoma, among other illnesses.
The largest or the main cause of blindness is cataract. It's a disease that will eat someone slowly until you become blind. Or, for instance, glaucoma. It comes slowly and sometimes it's painless. So people do not give it the recognition that it requires. It's not like malaria, where you become sick suddenly and therefore you have to rush to the hospital.
Though there have been great strides in the elimination of preventable blindness, efforts have been thwarted due to the unavailability of enough doctors, something that has to change.
The evidence that is there is that globally there is a chronic shortage of human resources. Kenya being one of the countries in the developing world where the burden of blindness and visual impairment is high, we need to therefore invest and look for alternatives to addressing the chronic shortage of human resources, not only for health but with a bias for us really for eye health. So we feel that our role in the changing environment where training of doctors is going to be at using a college model that is being used in Australia, in the UK and the US, whereby we are going to be playing a key role in the training of doctors and allied eye health professionals to meet to deliver the services that are needed with regard to eye health.
Members were challenged to incorporate preventable measures into their programs, since some of the diseases like trachoma could be eradicated with simple interventions such as washing of the face, among other hygiene practices.
For us in healthcare sector is so key, and particularly looking at it logically on the continuum of disease from prevention, treatment and care. Every other disease with evidence and respect to evidence is that treatment is prevention. So we now forget the basics of how to arrive at the disease and don't invest in prevention, whether it is HIV, whether it is prevention of glaucoma, whether it's prevention of diarrhea diseases. We are not investing enough on prevention. And so we end up with a big burden of treatment, and we are now saying treatment is prevention. So I think we need to challenge our thinking. We need to challenge our government and our donors that as much as we prioritize treatment, prevention is the ultimate cure.
These diseases affect persons in the rural area characterized by dusty ecology, with dirty water making those areas endemic to the ailments. The meeting was sponsored by the Fred Hollows Foundation as part of their advocacy plan, and were impressed by the much they were able to accomplish.
Yeah, I think we have overachieved our expectations, because having the MOH today present, I heard that you could see the questions that were coming from the audience. People were like, so you are saying that majority of blindness could have been prevented? And the answer was yes. Every 4 out of every 5 people who are blind need not be blind. If services were actually made available to them, they are made aware of.
Now let us take a look at the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities.
The UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities states that state parties recognize the rights of persons with disabilities to work on an equal basis with others. This includes the right to the opportunity to gain a living by work freely chosen or accepted in a labor market and work environment that is open, inclusive and accessible to persons with disability.
Well, folks, the day that you will realize that in spite of what has happened to you, life has to go on, and that will be your defining moment to live positively with disability.
Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we had today on the show. And on behalf of the team that made this possible, we wish you all the best in all your endeavors. God bless you. God keep you. I'm Mike Mbugua.
I'm Caxton Osozie.
And we're out.
Maua, mwili wangu ni mavumbi, niunde Bwana niwe chombo cha kazi yako. Mwili wangu ni mavumbi, mwili wangu ni maua, niunde niwe chombo